Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video, and it's my birthday. And so, how do normal people spend their birthday? By waking up at 3:30 to watch a Japanese live stream for a mobile game based on an anime. That's what 33-year-old guys do in their spare time, right? Well, it's what I do in my spare time, so here we are. The live stream just ended for the next incoming meta, and it's interesting. So you may have remembered. Let's try and find it. Not that one. I want to go to my projects. You may remember this image right here, right? Yeah, this thumbnail that I made that said September is going to be space focused with an orange focused meta. Yeah, well, I was half right. So it is the theme is going to be Norse mythology, which is cool and interesting. So I was like, oh, sweet. There's going to be a Thor, maybe. We'll have to check that out. But here is the global version, because they had a global live stream start 15 minutes after the JP live stream, and there is some differing information between the two, so we'll be able to cover that. But here is our first look. We have Velzard and Raphael incoming as the new summonable units. They look fairly good. As far as their kits, it's a little bit more interesting than that. So first up, we have the free-to-play battle unit Youm. And he looks fairly good. He is another light unit, which makes our third free-to-play light unit in a row. Because we got Darkness, then we got Romorus, and now we have Youm. And I don't really know why they decided to go with that, but hey, whatever. So thankfully, because of the global live stream, we do have his details that I don't have to type over. So he is an AoE light magic. 290%, and then lowers counterattack power by 15%, which is normally pretty trash. But we got a defense meta incoming, boys and girls. So we have his skill 2 is changes 2 blues into 2 greens. So we have a defense meta that is green focused and magic. So that whole prediction thing I did, yeah, that didn't really work out. His first skill is a new effect to the game. Adds Vengeance Charge ×3 to all targets, including the rear guard. And each charge ×1 deals 50% of the target's attack and ongoing damage after turn 5. And then increases all allies' physical attack resistance by 20%. So we'll go into the beatdown battle that shows how this works, but if you think of it kind of like how Burn worked, where you stacked it and it did damage based on how much fire damage you did on that turn, and it lasted for so long, it's kind of that way. So you stack 3 charges, right? And then it deals half of the attack after turn 5. So if you have 1 charge and they have 100 attack, you're doing 50 damage to them. And then you multiply that by 3, and then you multiply it by 20, and then you multiply it by, 50, and of course they have higher attack than 100, right? They probably have like 8,000, 10,000 attack, so you're doing 5k each charge, and then you multiply that by 50. But it doesn't start until turn 5, so for the first 4 turns you're just chilling, and you're stacking up as much as possible. So this is a stacking meta, I guess, in the most literal sense of the term, but it is also very defense-oriented. Moving on, we do have the summonable battle unit Raphael, the Winged Wisdom. So he, she, whoever, is a space unit, so I was right on that, at least. 320% AoE, though, so another AoE-focused meta. Lowers all targets' physical attack by 10%, which again, this is a defense-focused meta. And then the ult does, 200%. Cool. Skill 1 also adds 3 stacks of Vengeance, and then increases everybody's guard rate by 100% for 1 turn. So Everyone on the front line gets guaranteed guard for 1 turn. And then the second skill increases all allies' all attribute resistance by 50%. Now, this is kind of like what the light Hinata does. Her defense skill, she gives herself defense and then gives everybody the attribute resistance, but it's only 20% for her. Rimuru is giving 50%. And on top of that, he is the first unit to seal the attack, crit rate, or pierce rate of any enemy on the field for 2 turns. Now, we've had Guy who seals defense, right? We've had seal crit resistance skills up till now, but this is the first time we've been able to actually seal their attack buff, their crit buff, or their pierce buffs. So Raphael will have maybe some usage outside of this this meta. I don't really know. The guard is interesting. The vengeance is interesting. It, when people see defense meta, because we haven't gotten one since the, Earth 2.0 meta, and the Protector is going to really remind you of that when we get to her. But that defense meta was not received very well, because they tried to do a little bit too much. Like, Benimaru, he gave guaranteed counterattacks. He gave you extra skill points on your green orbs, and then reset your skill cost, right? So let's keep that in mind. But then they tried to shoehorn in like all the stupid poison and the taunting from that's not Adelman. From Adelman and Clayman. You got the continuous healing from Murin. It was just a very wonky meta because they were trying to do way too much. So this didn't really work out. This defense meta seems to be a little bit more cohesive, which is good, at least for now, because we only have 3 of the units. But looking at Protector Velzard, so another Protector Velzard, so she applies Vengeance counterattack to all allies for 3 turns, and each time an affected ally takes damage, adds a vengeance charge to all enemies, including the rear guard. So this is counterattack with an extra thing, right? So you've got Youm and you've got Rimuru adding 3 stacks of vengeance every time they use their skill. When you have Velzard active for 3 turns, every time you get hit, they get another charge. So if you have, nothing going on and you use Velzard, you get hit 3 times, congratulations, have 3 stacks of vengeance charge against the enemies. So, I mean, it's a very interesting concept, and then also gives you 250% skill point gain on greens. Looks familiar. Also resets skill costs. Looks familiar, right? Where's Benimaru? So Benimaru is giving counterattacks for 2 turns. This is giving counterattacks for 3 turns. This is giving the skill points increase by 250% for 3 turns, and then this resets skill costs. So Velzard is Earth Benimaru, but slightly better because they have the vengeance thing. And the counterattacks last for 3 turns instead of 2. So, I mean, if you have Benimaru, maybe you'll be okay, but the vengeance charge actually does a shit ton of damage if you stack it up enough, so maybe you actually won't be okay with Earth Benimaru. But let's go ahead and watch their alt animations, because we can watch all of them in a row here. So, and we'll go ahead and turn this up. Desktop audio, I'll turn myself off.
あなたに勝利は訪れません。知りなさい。交流ライトニング。すべてはマスターのために。今こそ挙兵の時。進軍を始めましょう。これは私の可愛いいたずらよ。ラグナロクボイド。さあ楽しみましょう。我が名にかけて勝利を誓おう。音敵を射抜け。ウングニル。
Alright, so they're... they kind of lagged out on their Velzard animations. Let's go ahead and watch it here. No sound though. We'll watch it so when it's not laggy. Velzard looks real hot. Alright, she's got that booba going on, she's got that cleavage, it's got that nice... Ooh, that upward shot right there. That's gonna be the thumbnail, is just going right up her chest. Fun. Very, very fun and interesting. And now the free-to-play unit, the other free-to-play unit, is, like most people predicted in the comments, the awakened version of Albis. Unfortunately, she is the 4-star Protector, which means she doesn't have any animations. You just get this character model, and that's it. So far we've had 2 Albis in the game. Both of them are free-to-play, and, yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, because I really like Snake Waifu Albis, and I would really like to see this get, like, a nice animation, and I feel like it's pretty sad that it's wasted on a free-to-play unit that has no animation. So that's pretty unfortunate, but she is just a mini Velzard, gives the Vengeance counterattack. At least it's the same, like, amount, right? It just is only for 1 turn instead of 3 turns. And then she gives the 50% increase on greens. Does not reset the cost of your skills, though, which is unfortunate. But this is going to be based on Otherworlder, is what Velzard leads. Let's go over there. Otherworld Legend Force characters, which should be the one that the Light Rimuru is on. Light Rimuru. Oh, no, it's different. Oh, it is different. Okay. Otherworlder Legend. Why would... Otherworld... Oh, Otherworld Legend. Sorry. Okay, it's not like Light Rimuru. Alright, brand new category, because I don't know anyone that currently has that. Great. Okay, cool. Brand new category, brand new force. So we have the Rimuru Raphael, we have the Velzard, we have Youm, and we have free-to-play Albis. That's awesome. Going back to the JP livestream, there is a little bit of other information in here. For this Jubilee, they're going to add, instead of the damage done counter, it's going to be the damage taken counter, because this is a defense-focused meta, and you're going to probably be based highly on how much damage you took versus how much damage you did, more than anything else. So that's what they're doing here. Everything else in here is stuff that's already happened. You can acquire the new shards down here on the character screen now instead of from the missions directly. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. Cool beans, whatever. There's going to be new stage effects. Field effects is what they called it. And I don't know how this is going to work. They also that said it's going to be for quests and Heroes Jubilee. This translates to when your HP reaches 1, then you get the Guts effect, and you can't die. So I don't really know how that's gonna work, but you can see he's got the little green buff. He's taking damage, but he's very obviously not dead. I don't know how it's gonna work, but they're going to implement it for Jubilee, so they're going to give us a mock Jubilee battle to test this out, starting on the 30th, which is literally 2 days away. Yeah, it'll be on the 30th, because this is for... Oh no, it's all be on the 31st, sorry. It'll be on Thursday. The banners, the new units, are dropping tomorrow night at 7 p.m. my time, not today. Tomorrow, being Tuesday for me. And then this mock Jubilee battle will happen on Thursday. It is still going to give us some decent rewards, though, which is nice. So there's like no real harm in trying it, test the stage effects out. I don't know what else is going to happen, but it'll be interesting to see. They I guess have been able to reduce the total game file size from like 9.5 gigs or something. You do have to go to the title screen and hit the reset data or restore data, and it should reduce the load. which will be quite nice for a lot of people that don't have, you know, the space for a 10 gig game. In the future, they're going to be adding a new medium-low graphic quality. Instead of, you know, low, medium, high, there's going to be a medium-low version for, I guess, devices that can't handle it. Cool, whatever. This is another free 10 tickets on the World of Fantasy banner, on top of the social media campaign one that's currently going on that I don't know if we've hit yet, but it was all dependent on her rolling a dice, and if she rolled a number that was 3 or higher, we all got 10 tickets. And spoiler alert, she rolled a 5. So we should be getting, in a total, 20 free tickets for the World of Fantasy banner, 2 free multis, which is not bad. Not bad at all. And then we go through all the character stuff, blah, 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 blah. Now we have this scene right here, from the incoming story. Now this is very obviously the new Rimuru. This is very obviously Veldora. And Veldora, if you didn't pay attention, was not one of the units that was showcased. Because this is not Youm, because Youm has armor on. So what this tells us is that Banner 2 or Banner 3 will be Veldora. He will probably have Thor's hammer if we're going off Norse mythology, right? So, incoming battle unit Veldora, finally, after almost 2 years? A year and 8 months, because the last one we got was, the last battle Veldora we got was the Wind 1.0 Veldora in December of 2021. So, it's been a hot minute. And then, you know, we've gotten a few Protector Veldoras, but never a Battle Veldora. So we've got one coming soon. So if Veldora is your husbando, then you're eating good. He's on a defense meta, though, so take that as you will. There is the free-to-play Albis. She looks hot. I like this form. I like my snake waifus. Don't tell me I'm weird. All of you are weird. This is going over the speed versus charge versus defense. So now we have a new image for the defense-focused teams. And then we get to the Beatdown Battle. So, turn 1 is built for the orb change of Youm. So, we'll kind of go through, we'll watch our intro animations. But it's a 2 blue to 4 green orb change. So, Youm will be necessary here. Isis can also be good since all these people are magic damage. So, that'll be good. One thing to note is that they get extra damage against water. They get extra damage against water units. And Rimuru is space, and Youm is light. So we're missing the wind unit that will have the double type advantage, right? Because they have the extra 6%, plus they just have the natural type advantage. So assuming that maybe Veldora is the wind and the quote-unquote DPS unit of this defense meta, we'll have to see whether it's him or whatever the other banner unit will be, since we don't know anything about that one. But they're going to go ahead and use the orb change here, and then they will start using the guard rate up and the elemental resistance up from Raphael. So that'll help them take less damage from these enemies. Oh, and no, this will be the seal, sorry. Yeah, it'll be the seal, and then the resistance up. And then here's Velzard coming in. We'll go ahead and skip that. And now they get this giant fucking lightning ore underneath them. And if your game didn't lag hard enough already, prepare, your phone's gonna explode. Because we're on the stage with a stupid moving background that already gives people fits. You're gonna have maybe the big dick aura from Valor Cup, and then now you're gonna have this fucking lightning aura? My computer's going to explode. Okay. But, so we've ended the turn, we've got them active. Dina's going to do an AoE right here. And then, I think at the end of the turn it adds it on, and a bunch of skills. A bunch of nerfs for everything. So, there's that. And then, so here we go. So we have this little number 5 right here, that's 5 stacks of the Vengeance, right? Because we had the AoE hit, and then we had each of them follow up and do their own little attacks. So we've stacked 5 of those, and now these 2 skills right here, these 25-point skills, those are 3 apiece, so we could do 6 now. on top of the 5. So we'll do this one and that one. Or not. Come on. Alright, so there's 1. So now it's up to 8 stacks. And this is doing 50% of their base attack stat for each charge. So, and there is no limit to these stacks, and they also don't go away. So, again, it doesn't actually take effect until turn 5. So, for the first 4 turns, you're just building up as many stacks as possible to try and get that, while getting all the points, while using Velzard to reset the cost of your orb changes, and those stacking vengeance charges, and then you can just get to insane numbers. So I won't make you sit through all of it, but we'll go to the very end. Right here. And they have 44 stacks. 44 stacks of vengeance, and then they hit you... That did 329,000 damage against Dino. Alright? That did 294,000 damage against Daggerel. And it did 314, almost 315,000 damage against Carrion at 45 stacks of that skill, which is crazy to think about. But we're on turn 7 when they finally did enough damage to kill. So nothing happens until turn 5, and then we start taking damage. And then every single turn after turn 5, it also does the vengeance damage. So nothing, and then turns 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, however long it goes until you kill them, you will do, continuous stacking damage with this new vengeance effect, the higher and higher stacks you go. And it lasts for 3 turns when they hit you, so it can be active for a while. You don't need to use Benimaru every single turn, or not Benimaru, but Velzard every single turn, because you will have the counterattacks, you will have the vengeance charges. It's just to reset your skill costs more than anything else. And so it's a very interesting meta. I don't really know how else to call that. Also, they're adding the Light 3.0 units onto this new category. So Raphael, Milim, Valentine, and Soka. And then they're also getting skill revamps for the 3 summonable units. However, there is a little bit of discrepancy, because this has Raphael's skill point change, right? Or 55 cost. He has 2 55 cost skills, right? So let's take a look at Raphael. Raphael. Okay. So his first skill lowers a single target's ult resistance by 50% and guaranteed pierce. Second skill is guaranteed stun against one enemy and then stun strike by 40%. So this skill is still the guaranteed stun against one enemy, and now instead of being 40% stun strike just for Raphael, it is now 40% stun strike to everyone on the Otherworld Force category or the New Year's Blessing, which means that both Milim and Lumi and Soka, alongside the new units, will also get that extra 40% stun strike ability, which is fairly cool. Milim's orb change, Milim's skill fusion on the 55 cost skill, which is her attack buff. Let's go find her real fast. She's all the way at the bottom because she has no dupes. Milim. Her 55 point skill is 45% attack for everybody for 1 turn, and then lowers a single target's light resistance by 30%. It's now an AoE light resistance down for 30%. So it literally went from a single target to an AoE, which I guess is cool, but probably not terribly impactful. And then Lumi right here, she is getting her double green orb change into a triple green orb change, which I would still argue is just not good. I haven't skill fused any of the units that do the triple orb change off of their double, because I want them to remain cheaper. I don't want them to be 30 cost, I want them to be 25. And I also very rarely have a need for triple green orb changing. It does happen, yes, it does. But, you already have Milim, you have probably Water Shuna on the team, or Guy, or Megamine at that point, and they can carry you for those other orb changes. And on a team that's stacking like this, you don't really need it. But the reason I say discrepancy is because the global developer diary is different, right? So here we have single target's alt resistance down by 50% and pierce rate, which is very obviously not the stun and stun strike. And now it's going to be damage reduction on the alt resistance by 60%. No, I said that weird. They're upping the alt resistance down by 10%, up to 60%. And then Milim, instead of being her attack buff, that's now the AoE like light resistance down, this is her orb change, and it goes from 10% on the blue gauge increase to 20% on the blue gauge increase. And then Lumi, instead of being the triple orb change, it's now 70% light attack instead of 60, and that's the only change. So I mean, very obviously they are different, right? So this is 100% and then 40%. This is 100% and 50%, 60% now. They're very different skills. So I think based on this, that these three units are getting both of their skills changed. And, well, I guess buffed in some way, shape, or form. And I guess that's cool. But yeah, that's about it. We have the return of the... Oh, come on. No, okay. Thanks, game. We have the return of the black crystals, which, again, if you buy all of the packs, you can get enough to get one guaranteed copy of the Protector and Battle unit. But I think that costs roughly $570 if you wanted to buy every single pack. So, yeah. Most people are not going to jump at that. Most people are probably going to be upset that it's a defense meta, but we haven't gotten one in literally almost a year. So, I mean, is it time to get a new defense meta? Probably. Why is it not orange focused? I don't know, because I don't know. So this means that the Valor rules, like the triple orb change to oranges and the extra skill points to oranges and the physical resistance down, that's all just for funsies. I don't really know why they did it, but it is what it is. And that's about all the information. They were doing a bunch of art designs and how to play the goddamn game. This was interesting, is that it's the timeline for how long it takes to develop a unit. And it says it takes them 10 months to develop a singular unit. And this is all the stages they go through between initial concept, art design, and then it branches off into the 3D modeling and 2D modeling and the sound effects and all that. So I mean that's interesting information to know. These are, I guess, some vote that happened. I don't know when, but these are like the most requested outfits and themes that they got. And the first one was Schoolboy, so Fount of Wisdom, and it kind of just goes down and from there. Then we have a bunch of art design, and then it showed off like her character models and which outfit they wanted to choose between these four. This is the one that won. It's got the 1 on it. But I mean, I don't mind these other two units, these other two models, so it is what it is. And yeah, that's about it. We're at 28 minutes long. Jeez, that's pretty long for not a lot of news. But yeah, so we've got a defense meta, a green magic-focused defense meta incoming. And we know that Veldora is coming at a later time next week or the week after. But that's it for me, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you intrigued by this whole new vengeance mechanic? Are you going to summon on this meta based on these units? Let me know in the comments, but that's it for me. Take it easy, and I will see you all tomorrow night, I guess, for the stream. But yeah, see you guys later.